And we are live! Welcome, everyone, to the second episode of the Two Studs podcast. With me today, as always, one of my best Lego friends, SySalem, one of the most amazing Australian people you can meet. And for starters, let's see what's been going on since we last did this. I've been pretty much out of the Twitch game for a while because of IRL stuff, changing jobs. Yeah, changing jobs, schedules not been lining up, and buying cars. Ugh, I hate cars so much. Uh, yeah, but what's been going on with you, dude? How have Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I hope that in the next 10 days I'm gonna put some evening streams after work. Maybe some cooking streams, probably. I have with cooking streams is that my kitchen is on the end of the house and my is like there. So the connection is absolute shit. What I could do is prep stuff here, like actual prepping here, and then move it up to the kitchen when it's just gonna be cooking stuff. Because I'm have a meal prep day this week. So I'm gonna be cooking only for a week or something. I'll do a couple of my signature recipes, my amazing burgers, my amazing. I have. I want to do steak at least once because my girlfriend doesn't like steak, so I'm gonna take the fact that I cook steak and some hamburgers, some tuna lasagna, stuff that just can last me days if I make enough. At least that 3 dishes, and I'm gonna try to stream that if I can. Now that I figure out how to use the goddamn phone as a secondary camera, that's also been but yeah, so started a new job. I'm liking this job much more than the last job, even though on Friday, so 2 days ago, I had to put my first patient to sleep. That was not fun. They do a lot of rescues, wildlife rescues, and since I'm more interested in exotic animals and wildlife, I generally pick those cases for myself. So I've been dealing with a bunch of hedgehogs. In case you don't know, I'm just gonna throw this out in the world. Care about the environment because you're killing my hedgehogs. This year, the summer was so warm that they basically had two breeding seasons in a year. So by now, they should be all hibernating, but they are too thin to hibernate. So people keep finding them out and about when they should not be here at all in December. But and yeah, no, hedgehogs are nocturnal, so if people find them during the day, we just take them in and then they take them to rehabilitation center in but we have to make sure that they are in perfect health or close enough to it that they can survive at least the trip, and then when they're be able to be reintroduced into the wild at some point. And the one that happened on Friday, yeah, no, it was far too weak. I tried for 2 days, but he was not eating after 48 hours, and that for a wildlife case is just RIP. So this job has some of those not so fun things. Yeah. And I have like, yeah, yeah, much more interesting. Much more interesting. Even when I'm bored, I can be bored in a productive way, like read or something like that. Not just literally standing around waiting for shit to happen. Yeah, that was one of my problems. Is if something broke, there was literally nothing to do and nothing I could do about that. So it made me furious. I felt like I was literally wasting my life, wasting away there just to get paid at the end of the day. Literally. I can do something much better than this. That was the reason. The only problem with this job is even though it technically is the same distance from my house as the other job, it takes me way longer because I have to go on the M4 and traffic in the morning can be kind of difficult, especially when for a country where it rains 80%, British people are trash at driving in the rain. Like, I don't understand this, but sure enough, every time there's any amount of rain, I already know that's gonna be crashes and traffic, and so I get out of my house 15 minutes before I actually should. And if I arrive at work early, I'll just have breakfast there since. So yeah, do you want to jump to the topic? I think we should move to the first topic. Do you want to start by reviewing the 2019 Lego sets that we know are coming out? Should we start by doing that? All right, then let's. Since this is a Lego podcast, just makes, in theory, just makes sense to start with a Lego. So let me just make sure this is the right window, and there we go. So, a couple of things that have to be noted around about these new sets. We're gonna start with the Star Wars ones because those are the ones that I like the most, basically. So we're gonna start with that. They released I think, four sets that are technically junior sets, even though I don't think they're gonna be branded with the junior tag, because that tag is reserved for sets that have that big central piece that's not actually a bunch of. So I don't think any of those have that, but they are going to be branded as 4 plus. I don't know if there are more pictures here. Yeah. There should be. No, there aren't. Anyway, so they are branding them as 4 plus. That they are really simple sets. I'm not too excited about any of them, really, about these 4 plus ones. But they did a TIE Fighter that's really simple. Any of the other TIE Fighters looks better than this. Um, oh, it is. It is because these are not microfighters. They are just junior sets, so they are large. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. If you're going if you're going for playability, these sets are incredible. If that's what, so, if you're basically if you're buying this for a kid, this set I have to these sets are 4 and up. But for playability, they are going to be incredible, I think, because they have the little things. They have the little every single one of them as an environment thing that I actually really enjoy. I really think that was a good idea. So you can see on the TIE Fighter that they have the little satellite dish and the little box. if we move to the one of the ones I actually kind of like, if they had a bigger X-wing this set, I would actually like this set because of the turret for the from the Death Star. So this is like a trench run junior set that I it looks great, especially the tower. The tower looks really good. Doesn't even look like junior set. It's just the X-wing that's clearly meant to be played with, and not just. They are they are meant the microfighters. I don't think they are meant to be played with. The microfighters fall in the same category as the brickheads, where they are more like collectible than anything else. So yeah, but these really. But yeah, this one's my favorite of the four of them. So we have what? We have the Rebel A Wing as well. So little thing. I think this is the most detailed model because the wing is a really easy model to add detail, even at small scale. But environmental piece is not as fun. So I'm not as a big fan of this one as I am of the X-wing trench run. Yeah, yeah, C-3PO. Unless you like stormtroopers. Unless you like stormtroopers and pilots. Even then, the X-wing one is still the better. You get a lightsaber trooper, a resistance piler, R2D2, and I think there's one more of those. Yeah, Disney tax. Call it a Disney tax. It's Disney's fault. Yeah, definitely. Because they don't have Star Wars tax. Jurassic World. Yeah, Yeah, they are definitely some of the most interesting ones that they announced. Just they are different. Yeah, they are interesting for what we are used to. That's the thing. We are not used to this. Uh, but now let's look at like actual sets. We have the 80 AP Walker. That's just a Rebels Walker, that Clone Wars era. Not a great, huge fan of this vehicle to begin with. The set really like good in terms of detail compared with the real thing. So I like because I like looking at it and looking at the actual model and seeing, yeah, this is why I like Star Wars Lego, because it's Lego and it's modeling and it's Star Wars. I like everything about that. And it comes with a brick separator. Just just that coming with a brick separator. We all know that brick separators are the best thing that you can put in a set. So this set gets an A from me, even though I don't like it. Now, one of the things that I really, really like about this set, that's not the brick separator, is the assembly of minifigs that they put in this set. You have Wookiee, you have Captain Green. If you don't know, that's the green clone trooper. You have a beach clone trooper, and you have two droids and five minifigs, and that assortment of them. It's really cool. It's you get some of the best minifigs in Star Wars all in the same set. That's good. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, the beach trooper is basically a snow trooper, but in dark green. But the green clone one, it's I don't think I ever saw that before. I may have to look that up to make sure. But it's gonna be the first time this set that we get Captain Green. That's literally the name, like, of that character, Captain Green. So, what a name for someone that uses green armor. Moving on to the next set, the droid gunship. This set looks really good, but I'm afraid it's gonna be really small. Like, if you compare the size of the minifigs to the set, that's really small. That set should be way bigger. I don't like the scale that they chose for this set. But we get a Wookiee with a nice chest piece that I think it's new as well. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. We had a problem with your audio, apparently. Speak, Sai. Say.
Oh, hello. Testing one, two, testing.
Okay. You're yeah. You're in. You're in.
I'm in now.
Yeah,
So I haven't been in for the whole first
Yeah,
however long it's been.
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid we've not been catching any of your audio up until now.
Oh dear. Well, I
Oh
hope I've
well, that's
been,
what happens when you do it
interesting
live.
enough.
That's what happens when you do it
Uh,
live. Okay, and that was completely my
well
fault.
then.
That was
Well then.
completely my fault. We lost what? 30 minutes of you. Yeah.
30 minutes of just action, just miming.
20,
You,
let's say
you did nothing
20.
wrong. I just wasn't actually talking. I was just miming. It was
20
all just hand
minutes.
action, mouth moving.
We've been live for about 20
Well
minutes.
then. Well then. Well then.
Sai, I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Hello.
Oh.
Anyway,
Well, yeah. At
Rip,
least we
say it
haven't had
again.
any issues with my thing locking up or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really interested just for that like musket gun. Like I said, I haven't seen that from way back in the day. Crazy. I love it. I like it. But as you said, you know, the droid gunship does look quite small. What I don't like about it is I really do not like. Well, as we know, I don't like stickers with Lego.
I don't put the
the
stickers
Kirby
in.
ones,
I don't put stickers in ever.
the Kirby stickers that they have, I just really don't like them because it's hard enough putting a sticker that's like very uniform and just straight edge, but there's the curve.
Don't
but
put stickers
it
in.
does come
That's
with
the
some interesting
solution.
things. But you've got to for some things. You really do. Otherwise, it just does not look like what it's meant to look like.
Yes, it does. Looks exactly the same.
No.
I have 2 bags on my spare drawer of things where I keep my boxes and where I keep my spare pieces, and I have a bag that's just stickers. All the stickers that I get from all the sets go into that bag for later non-use because they are not gonna.
But it's a part of them. They've got to have it because it's a part of them. I just wish it wouldn't be a part of them, but it is.
Anyway, moving on. I don't think. Do you have anything else to say about this one?
All I'd say is just the fact that like it looks like it's got quite a lot of actually interesting pieces. Like at the front of that the gunship, it's a lot of Technic type pieces, but it looks like it's got some really quite interesting pieces.
I think it has interesting connections. I'm gonna study.
Yeah,
this is one of those that I'm gonna study the instructions for building techniques because I'm interesting angles around that I want to be able to recreate on my own builds. Like they have something going on the top part of it where I think I'm seeing those weird clip connectors that are like a bar and a clip that you don't see on many things, and I want to see how top part is done because that looks interesting. And as you said, the front as well, they're like as weird angles that I want to see how they connect. So this is going to be a study piece for sure. Let's move on to the most, because I know it's going to be super expensive and should not be as expensive. It's the Dead Star Escape. It's basically a corridor of the Dead Star with 2 minifigures, and this thing's going to be way too expensive. Whatever the price it is, it's not going to be under $20, and it's like too much, I think.
I don't know about this one. Yeah. It feels like it's sort of semi meant to be a play piece, but at the same time, sort of like just a little diorama type thing. Like I like how it's, you know, on those hinge ones so they can sort of open and close and so on. I like that, but it seems really small and it doesn't seem like you can really play with it.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's got more than just a diorama type thing. Like it looks like it's got some stuff going on. Like it's got, in the picture, it's got the swinging action going on there. I mean, that's playability right there. That's not about you sitting it there as a display piece to go, look at this, that looks cool, because they're just going to be dangling down. They're not going to be doing the swinging action thing. That's meant for play, but it's designed in a way that it's more of a display piece, which is, and as you said, for the price, I think it's, I'm probably not going to like the price of it.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be
like any Star Wars Lego, really. It's way too expensive, but you know.
No, I think the Micro Fighters are one of the few things that are well priced.
Yeah.
For like 10 quid or whatever. I always get them when they get sliced down during clearances, and that they are really good value.
Yeah.
So, if I really wanted one, I would not be too bothered buying them at 10. So I think 10 is like a decent price for a minifig and a little vehicle that has some interesting stuff going on, and it's a nice display piece, and it's a nice Star Wars piece. But this one bothers me so much because it's like so simple, and I know it's gonna be so expensive for what it is. And it's like it has 3 minifigs. What the hell? What's this? They could have done. They should have done bigger and make it more expensive, but
I do
bigger
like that
anyway.
it comes with the binocular things and they're in white. I do like that because I don't have a white one. So
A white what?
excuse me, the binoculars that they've got there over on the left on the clip thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a white one of them. I actually haven't seen white ones of them, to be honest. I'm sure they've done them before, but yeah, that's what I like about the set.
Oh well, let's move on because that's making me mad.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see the battle packs. I really like, especially this battle pack, the Inferno Squad battle pack.
Yes, that's Battlefront 2.
Yes. Yeah, it's like it's amazing.
The little vehicle thingy. I mean, that can. But the
figures,
the minifigures, yeah. I mean, I just, yeah.
You're gonna buy it for the figures.
Yeah, well, that's what battle packs are really pretty much for.
Yeah.
It's just to get a bunch of figures so you can do like a little scenario, a battle. It's basically, to me, they're like with Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer, War Machine, Horde, I think it's called Horde, like any of those miniature painting type war games. The battle packs are like the battle packs with them. Like, you buy a box and you'll get like 6 goblins, night goblins or something like that, or 6 Space Marines or something like that. It's just a thing to get an addition, to get some more troops type stuff for your actual game thing. That's what I feel they are, and I think they work perfectly for them. Again, the price wise, but what you get, like, I really like those minifigs. I really do.
And these minifigs are not going to be available in anything else, basically. These stormtroopers are going to be pretty exclusive to this set.
And the fact that it's based on the games, like, it's not often that they bring out sets that are actually based on games. Because I remember back with the MMO Star Wars, The Old Republic, they only brought out like 2 or 3 sets that related to that. And I got one of them, fortunately. Wasn't able to get any of the other ones, but they were hard to find. But I liked them. And it's nice. And they're not exclusive, so you don't have to have played the game to about them or understand them or anything like that, or to get them and to play with them, obviously. But if you have, it just makes it sort of feel like that little bit of extra, I don't know, niceness in the fact that it's just there's something that generally wouldn't be. You wouldn't get Lego sets of something that's from a game, but here's a set from Battlefront 2, and I like it. I really do like it.
And if we go,
and I'm looking at the gun as well that they've got for one of them, and it's like quite interesting. It's like the old style. No, it's not. I have no idea what it actually is. It's the one that the guy on the left's got.
It's the stud shooter on top. It's the stud shooter on top of.
Yeah, stud shooter put on top of a. I thought it was one of the old school.
I think it was one of those camera things, right?
Microphone things.
The camera piece that they use.
Oh yeah. No, it could be, yeah.
And then it has
it's got like a tap at one end. It's got a spyglass thing at the other end.
Yep.
It's got stuff all over the place.
And the PP and the stud shooter on top.
Yeah.
Another thing that we have to consider when looking at this set is that if this set's going to be worth a little bit in the aftermarket market, in the second market, because the figures are going to be pretty exclusive.
Market.
Yeah, these figures are going to be pretty exclusive to this, which means this set's going to hold value well. Even if it's going to be really common after it goes out of production, if you have it, it's going to be worth a little bit. I think it's gonna hold this value nicely.
Oh, well, I mean, like if Battlefront 2 went better than it did, it definitely would have, but let's not talk about that now.
Yeah, they took way too long to fix that. Moving on to the second battle pack, the First Order Praetorian Guard thing. That, again, this minifigures looks great. The armor.
Yeah, I like it.
They are not as exclusive. Not as exclusive.
Yeah, but like you said, like the armor. But yeah, but what you get in it is really cool. Like the pieces, like the little sword pieces that are attached into the thing. You're getting red. By the looks of it, red translucent. Are they translucent or are they solid? I don't know. I think
they're solid.
You know, well, see, the thing is the ones on the left that the two battling ones have, they look solid. But the one that the guy on the right has, to me, that looks translucent. But it might be, what it might be is, it might be solid, and then it's got translucent pip stud things on each end, but they're the ones with the holes, and that's how the little
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, metallic thing is there. So I think that might be why that one looks a bit more translucent. But regardless, that's red lightsaber hilts. You know, I don't know if they've done red lightsaber hilts before, but
yeah, that's true. I don't think they have.
Not many of them. And yeah, so like I quite like that. I mean, it's not a common color. I highly doubt there's gonna be Jedis or Siths running around with red lightsaber things, but for imagination, customized play, not just kids, but anyone, you know, doing whatever they want. A red lightsaber hilt, like I just love getting the lightsabers and the hilts in different colors. It's just really nice to have them and to be able to choose whatever you want. And because they actually can be used in so many different ways, that like the pieces probably aren't called lightsaber hilts. That's just what I call them, because that's really their name.
That's what they are called, I think. I really think that's what they are called.
That's good. But yeah, like getting red ones, that's really cool. And so even if they have done them before, it's not a common color. And the fact that in this one, you're getting what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're getting 5. I like that. I really do like that. I like this one. This one's cool. And also the fact that it looks like it's like a battling type, not.
Yeah, I think the platform is gonna have some mechanical thing going on as well.
Yeah, it looks like it will. Yeah.
So that's good. And the figures themselves are good just because if I'm not mistaken, the only other set that you can get the Praetorian Guards in is Snoke's throne room, and that set's trash. So the fact that you can get these figures in another set that is also much less expensive makes it good, I think.
Well, yeah, because to get them, you'd have to have gotten like multiples of the other thing, where, you know, it's hard enough to just want to get one of them.
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, that means this set's also interesting, even though I'm probably not gonna buy it. Gonna move on to the microfighters. So we have Naboo microfighter with little Anakin, which is interesting, I'd have to say.
Baby legs.
Yeah.
But he is a baby, so yeah, but I still do.
Still baby legs.
Baby legs.
But he is a baby though, so in this case...
Well, yeah.
I think it's the first microfighter with baby legs. Because they never...
Maybe, yeah, because the baby legs were mostly in the DC Marvel, what are they called? Rock'em Sock'em Mighty Machine. That's it.
Mighty Micros.
Yeah, that's it. Mighty Micros, not Mighty Machines. That's a different franchise.
That I have one of, because you gifted it.
You won. I didn't just gift it to you. You won the competition. You won fair and square. You worked hard for it.
Yeah, my luck was high that day. So, the only thing I don't like is the fact that you only get the head of R2-D2.
I was going to say that. I'm like, you know, couldn't they have just given us him instead of just his head, his severed head? I mean, that's painful.
I don't think they could. I don't think they could fit the.
Probably wouldn't have been able to fit him
at this
Come
scale.
on, I mean, just that's so mean.
Yeah, that's mean. That's the only thing that I really bothers me.
Mm.
But
I do like the translucent cone things though for the shooting mechanism things. I really like the translucent greens because I love translucent pieces. But that nice sort of, what is that, like a lime green? I'm really liking that.
Yeah. So it's an interesting little microfighter. Nothing world, but interesting. And where are the other ones? This one is more interesting. This is the double feature one that they normally release.
Yeah.
And this one, I really like this one.
I like this one.
You have a lot of cool things going on. Like the escape pod is completely whack because we all know this skill is retarded. But you get 3 minifigs because you get R2D, CPO, and this desert trooper that I also think that's the first time we have that face with the little splotty things. You get the white binoculars that you also like.
Yep.
And you get weapons, rifles, a spear. You get this amazing dewback that's looks really fun. It's just overall, I really like what they did with this set. It's like an iconic. It's literally one of the first scenes of Star Wars ever, and I'm really glad they did a good job with the recreation of it.
And they give us the full R2D2, not just his severed head. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, you get a whole one instead of just partial R2.
But yeah, the dewback, like I really like it because like just by itself, it can, you can use it, you can play with it, Okay, so the escape pod, I mean, it's got some nice gold pieces on it, which that they're nice. But that the little dewback, it looks cute as well. And okay, let's go imagination. You can alter it a little bit and make it, not have a saddle on it. So it's a free range one, a free roaming one. But like, I like it. It looks really cute. It looks really nice. I actually really like it. Plus green pieces. Like green pieces. So yeah, I think that's a really nice one. It is a really groovy one.
It's one of those that looks good if you want to play with it and looks good if you want to keep it in a shelf.
Exactly.
I really like this one. But my favorite one is the Sid Infiltrator.
Oh yes.
This microfighter, is so cool. They did amazing with how weird the ship looks. Like it's not easy to make the wings of the infiltrator at this.
Yeah.
I'm still not 100% sure how they did this connection on the wing, because I understand how the top and the bottom part connect, but I'm not how they connect that to the actual plate that it's on. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they did that, and I want to see that. Because even when you looked at the other side, I don't see that connection to anything.
So no, well,
it's hard.
Okay, so
this is a clip with a clip.
So the flat piece there is one that's got the claw on it. That's how that is. Now the bottom one, it's got one of the bar things, so that clicks into that.
Yeah.
And then the top one has 2 hooks that's clicking down. So the 2 how am I doing this? The 2 things there for the top piece goes into the bar on the second one, and then they go into the clippy hook type thing on the middle thing. But that piece there, what is that? Because that looks like it's at least a 2x2. So a 2x2 with a claw on the end.
But that piece
I don't know if I've seen pieces like that.
That piece doesn't exist. And if you look at the other side, if you look at the the farthest wing, hook.
Yeah, like there's nothing attached to the top or the bottom to put that. That's why I'm like, how does that? Yeah, I'm not too sure how that's working.
If it's a new piece, I'm gonna be way less impressed. But if it's a connection that I'm not seeing, I'm gonna be.
It's Photoshop magic.
And you get the Darth Maul.
It's just stickers.
Minifig.
which Darth Maul, best character in Star Wars, of course, besides, Visas Ma.
You know what I wanted? The only thing I wanted Robot
Yeah.
Darth Maul. I wanted this to be... Doesn't make sense because doesn't have the infiltrator after his legs get cut off.
Yeah.
But I really wanted Robot Legs because Robot Legs Darth Maul is the best Darth Maul. After he gets cut in half, he just doubles in personality. And I love it. If you have seen Clone Wars, you know how amazing Darth Maul is. So
Yeah, but Clone Wars is, that's not real Star Wars. Cause
it's the best Star Wars property ever made. Clone Wars is so much better than any Star Wars movie, dude. And the best episodes of Clone Wars are better than my favorite Star Wars movie. So...
you crazy.
Dude, please. You have to watch it if you never did. You have watched it, right?
No. All I've seen of the cartoon ones is that first movie they brought out of Star Wars, Clone Wars, or whatever it was.
You saw the worst of it. Literally.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I think all it was Anakin and the Twi'lek. I think they had to save a baby slug and take it back to the big father or mother slug. What are they called? They're not slugs. The Hutts. The baby Hutt had to take back. I think that was it.
Have to watch Clone Wars from season 2 onwards.
Season 2. Ignore season 1. Yeah.
Season 2 onwards is the best Star Wars property ever put to screen. And I'll stand by this. You cannot point me to a Star Wars movie that's better than the best episodes of Clone Wars. You can't. There are like 5... I'd say around 5. So there are two-part episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Literally the best Star Wars property ever made. It's focused on Anakin and the Force World. There's this cube Force World. I don't remember the name of the episode, but that's amazing. And then there's another 2-part episode that's based solely on the clones, and it's like this weird Saving Private Ryan type of thing. That's it's so good. It's like I love it so much. I was really sad that Rebels couldn't capture the Clone Wars feel. Rebels is a lot more, let's put it simply, it's a lot more shittier than Clone Wars. I just think they aimed it at a younger audience, so some of the episodes don't stand up to scrutiny. They're still fun to watch, not have a big impact. Maybe Thrawn, the episodes when they have Thrawn in, those episodes are good, and are more thought-provoking because Thrawn is an interesting character. But other than that, Rebels is not. It's not in the same league that Clone Wars is, because Clone Wars is amazing. And
isn't that meant to be a new one as well coming out though?
They came out with Star Wars Alliance, I think, but Star Wars Alliance is trash. It's not type of animation. And
for someone who really likes Star Wars, you seem to think a lot of it's trash.
The animated stuff that they aim at the Disney Channel audience tends to be aimed at the Disney Channel audience. I say it's trash because for long-term Star Wars fans, for you to be a long-term Star Wars fan, you have to be at least 25 years old.
Calm down.
But I think it's good that they make Star Wars shows aimed to kids, just to bring Star Wars fans into the mix.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. All for it.
They'll do things like that, to incorporate more people into. What I don't like though is when they start to do that, and then they sort of not so much dumb down, but they sort of tend to make everything more suited for that newer audience. When they do that with certain, series and universe things of certain things. But from what I understand, they haven't done that, at least not yet, with Star Wars. Because, Star Wars, it was something for, younger people, not like super, super young babies and so on. But, your definition of babies can differ. But yeah, no, I definitely do like that they have, they did do that. Because way back in the day, I think the first thing that they ever sort of did Star Wars to introduce the more younger crowd into Star Wars was the really old original offshoots of Star Wars, which was, what were they?
With
the Ewok one.
Ewoks, yeah.
And, yeah, the Ewok one, and I think it was a R2-D2 and C-3PO animation or something that they did as well. Sort of spin-off type VHS direct-to-tape movie way back in the day. I think it was VHS, could have been beta.
But
yeah.
I don't think Star Wars suffers of the dumbing down of the higher tier properties. If you look at the last 2 or 3 Star Wars movies, those movies don't have really childish themes. I think they are a lot more mature than even the original trilogy was. So I
don't know. Some parts of the new movies, I'm like, it feels like there's just not enough stuff in it, because too much stuff might be too much for the young minds these days.
Yeah. I hope that at some point they arrive at Marvel Studios type of situation where they feel confident enough to do a 3-hour-long movie that doesn't make any sense if you didn't watch all the rest of it, and just gonna be hopefully incredible. But for now, let's see what happens in episode 9 and how they close up this trilogy. But I also like the fact that they have Star Wars in like trilogy bites where you just follow a story. I don't like that Solo did so bad, because they are not going to do many more one-offs, and I really think that the Star Wars stories are a good idea. And was not bad. If you think Solo's bad, you're...
I like Solo. I did. I still haven't watched it since I've got the VHS, but I watched it at the cinemas. It was the last movie I saw at the cinemas. And I do not go to the cinemas that often. Movies I went this year to see at the cinemas was Star Wars Solo, the Incredibles 2, and I think that was it.
Solo is
pretty much all I went and really saw at the movie.
Solo is a solid movie. Solo is a solid movie.
I liked it. I really liked it.
Okay, we just went on a Star Wars tangent.
Before we do finish, though, on the Sith Infiltrator set, is that I think it looks super creepy and weird that Darth Maul looks like he's smiling. Because it looks like he's smiling. And that's not right.
That should be like a scary face. That's not really scary.
It's a terrifying face.
And to finish up, we are gonna look at Vader Castle, that I have a lot of mixed feelings about. Because I don't know if I hate it, I don't know if I like it, I don't know if it's fine. I know I'm not gonna buy it, so that falls into...
I think I'm definitely going to, when it goes on clearance. At 60% off.
If it goes on clearance on 60% off, I'm gonna buy it. But that just says that the set is gonna be overpriced by 50%. So that's what we think. That the set's overpriced by about 50%. I like...
Well, depending on the price it actually comes out over here at. But yeah.
I like that it looks fine, but it's small. That's my biggest problem, is it feels...
It's not that small. Calm down.
There are small sets that don't feel small, and there are small sets that feel small. And this is a set that just feels small. I look at it. I saw it on... Where did I...
It's about 11 minifigs high. That's not that small.
I've seen it. If you look at it from the backside, there are pictures online that you can look up, and you see the different tiers, because it's on the other side. So you have the little rooms inside, and then you realize how actually small it is. The one thing that I like about it is the little weird scale TIE Advance that they made, because that TIE Advance is smaller than the other TIE Advances. but still bigger than a microfighter, so it falls in a weird category.
As well as like we were talking about before, it's just so small though. That's why I really like
Yeah.
that other one that was for the ages of 4+, because it was a nice size. I honestly think that they should have done this one that size here. I would have really liked that.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
like this one there, that's just one that you'd get essentially from the Mighty Micro Machine Fighters, whatever you call the Star Wars ones.
It's bigger. It's bigger than that. I think
Really?
a little
I
bigger
don't know.
than that.
It looks like it's going to be that size. It really looks like it's going to be the size of them, to be honest.
I think
Because
it's going to be a
its
little
2x2s in the middle, and then the things on the top are 3. Well, it's not 2x2s, but they're 2 pips high. The other things are 3 pips long, except for the front one. It goes to 2 and then a 1. I think they're the same size as most of them.
I think it's going to be a little bit bigger, but not much.
If anything, maybe a bit wider. Maybe a bit wider. I'll
Yeah,
give you that.
wider,
Maybe a
definitely.
bit wider. I don't think it's going to be a bit bigger, though. I don't think it's going to be bigger, not height-wise. But
I'm really interested in seeing how the minifig fits, if it fits at all in the inside. If that
well, I don't think it will. I don't think there's any way it could. I think that'd be impossible.
that's the only thing. It's that it looks like it has a notch on top. So I wonder if they have some weird building construction way where the
You've got to take the minifig apart, and you can just drop the head in. That's it.
I'm more thinking about like they found a way to make the walls really thin, so you can actually put a minifigure in. But I'm gonna see it I'm gonna try to look at it at the Lego shop or something when I go there after Christmas, and if they have it there, I'll try and see. Because at first
Well, it will
glance,
be interesting. It will be interesting, yeah.
at first glance, I'm
I
really
don't
not
know. I just
sold.
think it's too small, to be honest.
I'm not too sold
Excuse me.
this set as
What I really like about it, though, is the translucent pieces for the actual, like the glass, the solid dark red. The translucent color for the lava coming out, that orange, I really like that. As well as the really cool and sort of old, I haven't come across them in quite a long time, is the sort of rocky type pieces that they've got on the sides, which were like one solid piece. I don't know if that actually is the old style ones, but it looks very similar to them, and I haven't had them in a very long time. But the whole design of it actually reminds me of like the TIE Silencer, the Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter, just like all that black and just the whole sleekness and all those parts and pieces and stuff like that, as well as like a lot of their ships. It basically just looks like one of the Star Wars ships has just sort of landed or crashed, and that's just one of their wings sticking out, to be honest.
I'm gonna take this moment to recommend everyone reads the new Vader comics, because there's a whole story about Vader Castle is there, and it's amazing. So it's still an ongoing run; it's not finished yet. So if Vader 2017, I think that and that whole comic series is incredible. Vader is a badass. Basically takes place straight after Revenge of the Sith. So and into whatever timeline they're gonna take it into. But yeah, it's after episode 3, straight after episode 3, and it's Vader is just a badass. It's an amazing representation of Vader, and it has the story of Vader Castle in there, which is cool.
Okay, sounds interesting. Yeah.
I recommend everyone read that comic because it's good. So, want to move on to another theme? We have
Yes, I think. Well, that's the new Star Wars Lego sets that are out, so they're done.
Yep. So let's move to another theme. What do we want to do? Architecture only has two sets.
I checked them briefly, and I did like them. I don't have any architecture sets as of yet.
Me neither. I'm not a huge fan.
I am. I really am. I really like them. I don't have any yet.
This is a classic representation of what Lego display pieces are, in my opinion. It's a really good representation of this is not meant to be played with. This is meant to collect
No, yeah.
in a shelf somewhere.
And it's nice because they're like a micro scale. They're small. And so you can get numerous ones, or you can just get one and you can put it a lot of different places, which is really nice and handy.
It's not like
and I really like these ones.
The London Bridge, which is an amazing display set.
Which is a display piece, yeah, exactly.
But you're not going to put it on your coffee table.
Well, like it takes up your entire coffee table. So, goodbye using your coffee table as the coffee table for, photo books or coffee.
Or coffee.
No, it's just for Lego. But these ones can go on a shelf. These ones can go on a desk. Like these ones are very similar to the Ideas one, which was the ship in the bottle. I love the ship in the bottle because it was a perfect display piece, and the size of it is amazing. And the fact that it's like you build a stand, you're building a ship in a bottle. A ship in a bottle is actually something you would have as a display piece type thing and put on a desk. But
really tempted.
This isn't just a ship in a bottle. It's a Lego ship in the bottle that you've built. What is this? This is multiple dimensions here.
I'm really tempted to buy the ship in the bottle after Christmas. My girlfriend's gonna give me a gift card for the Lego store for Christmas. So I'm probably gonna put in the rest of the money and buy a goddamn ship in the bottle.
Get the ship in the bottle
set.
We've jumped sets here though, but ship in the bottle is a great.
It's my favorite idea set. It's my favorite idea
set.
set.
It is amazing. It looks so good. Oh, I love it so much. Back to these ones.
Yeah, back to this ones. So we have Paris and San Francisco.
Yep.
There's not much we can say about it, really, other than they are really, really expertly designed, I think.
Yeah.
And we already know that architecture sets are expensive for the number of parts they have. But because that got them, for people that are not familiar with Lego, you know what makes this set expensive? Is the fact that there's a printed tile with Paris in the name. That's literally it. The fact that the only this set has that is exclusive to this set, and that's what makes it expensive, because you can't build it from pieces, is the goddamn Paris tag. It's the name of the city that makes this set expensive. Now you know. If you didn't.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at the little arch pieces for the base of the actual Eiffel Tower, and I'm like, have I seen them before? Is that a sticker? The big curve pieces. See those big curve pieces there?
Yeah.
For at the feet. Yeah. That's, I don't know, just because of how the reflection on that looks like. It looks like they're not actually solid in grooves. It looks like that could be a sticker or that's a printed piece. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's a sticker, I hate it. If it's a sticker, I hate it. If it's a printed piece, I love it.
Yes, exactly.
But the little Louvre is amazing. The way they how to make that middle, I really like. So I'm definitely a fan of the Paris skyline.
Oh yeah,
I hate Paris as a city. The skyline is great.
Oh.
And San Francisco is, San Francisco. We have seen this be destroyed in movies multiple times.
I like the bridge. The bridge looks really cool with the, for the actual, whatever those things are called in bridges.
Cables?
The steel cable things.
I don't think there's much to say about this one.
No, they just look really cool and interesting and intriguing, and the way in which they do these things and make them such super tiny with and recognizable. Really nice. Because you were doing one like this, weren't you, of Portugal, I believe?
Yeah. It's still half done somewhere in my working folder. That I have stuff in there that I start with a really good idea and then don't have time to finish, or get into a creative wall where I don't know how to finish something, so I don't. If it doesn't come out like I want it, I'd rather not finish it than finish it fully.
Terrible.
Moving on. Next theme. Let's go back. And let's go Brickheads.
Okay.
We know there are going to be 6 of them, but we only have image for 3 of them so far? Yeah, 3.
Mm-hmm.
We have Dragon Dance Guy that's gonna piss a lot of people off, as all the exclusive Chinese is gonna piss people off, because I'm pretty sure this is gonna be exclusive to China.
Well,
What
I don't know.
which is gonna make them extremely expensive in the second-hand market, like expensive.
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest, about it being exclusive just to China, because okay, it's a seasonal one, yeah, but I don't know. Have they ever done sets just specific to China before?
No, but they announced that they are doing that.
I don't know.
Have you seen
I just don't see Lego being on super friendly terms with China, just because of all the knockoff brands. And they just recently won, I'm pretty sure, like a court case against one of the big knockoff brands of Lego. And yeah.
Have you seen the actual exclusive ones to China that they announced? There are like 3 of them that they announced during a press conference that are going to be exclusive to China. Those sets we know that are going to be exclusive to China. This one,
really?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm just speculating if this one's going to be exclusive to China.
Oh, okay.
But those 3, I think 2 or 3 are going to be exclusive to China for sure.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah. Let's talk about the set.
Well, yeah, actually, there's the Year of the Pig and Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm.
But is that meant to be an exclusive to China one? Because I know
I don't think so.
A bunch of Year of them. Yeah, because I've seen them before.
Yeah, the Year of the Dog was.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of those ones.
What I like about this brickhead thing, and that I think it's a common thread through all of these ones, is they updated the bases to have more stuff instead of just the brickhead base. The bases have more stuff. I was
just looking at that, and to be honest, I don't like that, but at the same time, I like it because it gives it more of a display thing for that by itself as is. But if you're getting them and collecting them in a pop vinyl type of way, you're getting them to collect them in mass amounts. It just
going to take
takes
space.
Up so much more room, and you can't sit them nicely next to each other. And I don't like that about it. But it looks really cool.
You can go the snob route and not taking them out of the packets, and instead of building them, you put them boxes in the shelf. Yeah. Because there are people that do that. They're pop vinyls.
Like they have, the display sort of protection cases for the brickheads. They're not going to fit for those big new wider ones now. You're going to have to get new one.
That's true.
So
didn't think about that one. So I think this is going to be one of those, let's start collect these ones on the boxes and not build them.
I think if anything, you get one of them and that's your main one and you sit that in the middle and then you have all your normal ones sitting behind them. Like up behind me, that's where I've got my only brickheads that I own, which is Gamora. She's sitting in between 2 cactuses. But I can swap that out for one that's got a weird wide thing, and it'll be all okay.
At the moment, that series of brickheads, the Infinity Wars one, is on sale here for 33% off, I think.
Okay.
Still not getting Thanos. I'm gonna wait until they go under £5. When they go under £5, I'm gonna buy it. They can't trick me twice. I know they are gonna make them cheaper after Christmas. Like last year, I bought a bunch of stuff in January because that's when I get the shelves ready for next year's collections.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I might not be able to wait out because I really want is the Vader brickheads. That's the one I'm buy full price because I really want it.
Full price? Oof, jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the puppy. It's the arm is different than the other arms, like it's facing forward. I like that.
Yeah, so we can hold the flower thing.
The
that
flower
one
thing.
To me, like it says seasonal. It feels like that more of a like a Halloween, like a Valentine's Day type one to me.
Yeah, might be something
It's got a
along
love
those
heart.
lines.
It's got like a little rose type thing. It's a puppy dog sticking its little tongue out, being all cute and cuddly. I suppose dogs are meant to be. And yeah, I feel like, because surely these aren't seasonal for the same season. Like they're for seasonal, as in they're for different things. So
Yeah.
I think the puppy one's meant for, Valentine's Day. I think the Dragon Dance guy is for, Chinese New Year type thing, I'd imagine. Problem is Year of the Pig, that's meant to be Chinese New Year, but then yeah.
And the clowns for what?
Well.
The clowns for what?
The birthday of Lego?
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. The clown one's a creepy one though. That's one clown.
Yeah, it's one is creepy. It has an interesting flame piece though. I like that flame piece.
Yeah, that's nice.
So
on top of the little candle.
Yeah.
No, I like the color that and the pieces that they've got for the hair, for the orange hair. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not too excited about any of those, really.
I'm excited about the ones that they don't have pictures for.
The ghost one that what's gonna look like?
Yes. What's the ghost one gonna look like? And so obviously that's gonna be Halloween. The chick, that's gonna be
Easter?
Easter. I was about to say Egg Day. And then Reindeer, Elf, and Elfie, that's gonna be Christmas. That one's gonna be interesting, I think. The Reindeer, Elf, and Elfie. I think that'll be interesting, that one. But I'm excited for that ghost. Spooky, scary. Ooh.
I didn't like the witch. The one they released this year, the witch one, I don't like it.
I haven't seen that one, actually. I was lucky in the fact that in my local store, they brought out the normal seasonal Lego set that they've for Halloween that they've had the past few years. But I saw that there in November, and they had 2 left there. So I was like, oh, yeah, okay. They'll clearance to get rid of them because, it's no longer time for them. So I was like, yeah,
By the way,
I'll take them.
Do we want to review every single one of these? Because there are a lot of them.
I don't think we need to go through all of them.
Okay. Then
we
let's
only have so many hours in a night.
Yeah, because there are a lot of them. So let's just review the ones that we care most about. I think we need to talk about FORMA. This one's the ones we need to talk about. Do you know what this is?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
This is one idea that I both like because of what the thought process behind it, and that I hate execution. Because the whole purpose of FORMA, for people that don't know, is to make sets that are literally targeted at adults. This is not for kids. This is targeted specifically at their AFO audience and people that can get on stuff early. But they have so little trust in their own marketing that it's crowdfunded. And I hate that. So the only way to get this is to get in early into the crowdfund, and then it's like any other crowdfund. When they produce it, you get it. Which allows to voting on stuff that you want, what is good. Like, they can make really interesting stuff knowing that they already have the buyers for it. But on the other hand, I really don't like that way of business. I really don't like it.
The thing is as well, is that you can only get them, because it's on Indiegogo, you can only get them if you're in the UK or America. That's it. And I was very upset about that. And you go into the FAQ and it's like, something, why is it only there or whatever? And their answer, their biggest market is the UK and America. So
it's not.
They thought it best to test out in there. And I'm like, what?
And by population is actually German.
Come on now. This is crowdfunding here. This is not crowdfunding. This is selective funding from only America and the UK. What? No. I am very upset. I am not going to buy any more Lego ever again because of this. I am very upset. Very upset.
The sets themselves look fine. They're not none.
Oh yeah, the skins. Well, because what people need to understand is that all of them are actually the same thing. The only difference is the skin that goes over them. Because in the actual crowdfunding, what you can do is you buy one and it's X amount of price and you'll get just the koi fish. And then what you can do is you can choose, okay, if you want the koi fish or the other fish, or what you can do is one where it's got all of them. And what it is, it's just the one actual figure thing, model, technic pieces and so on. And it's just all the other skins, that you get. But now what they do have there, I was going to say it's the one they call the ink koi skin, which is the one that is, I think, designed for you to color it, I think, yourself. You don't have to, but it is designed for you to actually be able to color it whatever colors you want.
So I really like the idea because I hope they extend this to where you just get really interesting sets designed specifically to appeal to a more adult audience, and I really want to see that work, which is great because it opens up the possibility that we get sets that we wouldn't get otherwise, specifically weirder things like a Firefly set or whatever that you just post on Reddit and you can have enough people to produce that set like in a week. Everyone's gonna flood that crowdfund. But at the same time, it's crowdfunding, and I have a principle against crowdfunding stuff. But yeah, that I think.
Well, I think for such a company as Lego is, they have, think tanks and
exactly. They should be able to do that.
Test groups and stuff like that. Yeah, they don't need to go to Indiegogo. I mean, come on, Indiegogo. Come on. They don't need to go there and only go to America, to the US and the UK to test this out.
Definitely. I don't like that. But let's see what good comes off from this little evil.
Yeah.
Hopefully something good. So there's a bunch of other sets that I don't think we should review or need to review all of them. But
I think the only one really that's left is the advanced model one, which is the modular building for the year, the creator expert.
Don't you want to?
Because they are groovy.
Don't you want to talk about the? I misclicked. It's creator expert.
Oh.
Where is it? Where is the?
I don't know. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm trying to find the model one. Advanced model is this one, right? Yeah, the corner garage. That's what you were talking about, right?
Well, no. The advanced model that's under advanced models. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, the thing hasn't updated for what I can see. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, the creator expert. Once a year they bring out the modular buildings, and corner garage. That was the first set that I started. First set? No, it was the first set that I bought. That I wasn't the first one I started building this year when I started the stream Lego. But it was the detective's office, and that was because I'd actually seen the new one that was coming out for 2018, which was the diner. What was the sort of like 80s, 70s, 60s? I think maybe 60s. No, maybe 70s. Definitely was not 80s. We'll go maybe 70s to 60s diner. That was really groovy. That was really cool. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but this one, corner garage, this one's really interesting. You get like a lot of little things with it, obviously. You get like a little dog, you get like a little ribbity frog. And it's just, I like it because it's also actually got like a little bit of driving thingy for cars to come in. And from the other ones, they've got like the walking street and stuff. And I don't know, I just really like it. And it's a corner type one. It's just, I like it. It looks nice. And so what is it? It's got a tow truck in there. Apparently it's got a vet.
Yeah,
something like
that blue door on the left side is
that little tiny blue door. There you go. That's where you are. That's where you live.
Yeah, that's me. I might actually get this one just because of that. And
just because of that.
And I have no modulars.
But yeah, I just like it. It looks nice. It looks really nice. I really like how they do the architecture and everything of like the eaves and everything of the actual the buildings in these modular ones. They just look really nice.
The modular sets are really inspired.
Yeah.
They have some of the best design is on the modular ones. They spend a lot
It's nice.
designing them. Should we move to the next thing?
I think we should. Yes.
Then let's move to the next thing. As the title says, we're gonna watch the Avengers trailer.
Okie dokie.
If you have not caught up on Avengers stuff, this is gonna be full spoilers from here, because we're gonna watch the trailer and then we're gonna do speculation. So we're gonna talk about what happened in the last movies. But if you haven't watched Infinity War by now, I don't think you're gonna watch Infinity War at all, because how could you survive 6 months without watching that movie?
I mean, I only watched it like 3 months ago, but yeah.
So let's watch the trailer and then we can do a play-by-play, maybe.
Make sure you've got the sounds right.
Yeah. And let's go.
Staying on? Hey, Miss Potts. If you find this recording, don't feel bad about this. Part of the journey is the end. Just for the record, being adrift in space with zero promise of rescue is more fun than it sounds. Food and water ran out 4 days ago. Oxygen will run out tomorrow morning. That'll be it. When I drift off, I will dream about you. It's always you.
Thanos did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
We lost. All of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost a part of ourselves. This is the fight of our lives.
This is going to work, Steve.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't.
Hi, is anyone home? This is Scott Lang. We met a few years ago at the airport in Germany. Got really big.
Is this an old message?
Ant-Man, I know you know that.
It's the front door.
That's me. Can you buzz me in?
So,
Ran out.
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's good. It's nice. I don't really watch trailers for Marvel stuff because, I used to run a comic book store, so I know a lot of, stuff about the stories and stuff anyway. And some things just sort of irritate me when they're not the way that they were in the comics and so on and that. But
Come on.
yeah,
It's
anyway.
another media. They have to adapt some stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't translate as well.
So for what it is and how it goes, I wouldn't so much as call it a trailer. I'd say it's more of a teaser.
But that's the good part of it. Like, don't show me action features. Don't show me stuff that ruins the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
With this being the
But,
only thing we see.
Okay, so obviously we're getting to this point. So we've seen Ant-Man and Wasp. The problem with it though is that, it kind of ruins it a bit because of how Ant-Man and Wasp ends at the very end after, everything. Because, why is Mr. Ant-Man there? He shouldn't be there. But,
We need to see how he gets out of there.
yeah, exactly. But so that's interesting. What I think's interesting is that the title card as that comes up with Avengers Endgame is that it is very purple-esque. And purple was, I believe, was that the Power Stone?
Yeah.
I think?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wonder if they are
Interesting.
going. I really wonder if we are going to see Thanos at all in this movie, like as with a meaningful role. Because this movie could all happen without us ever seeing him again. Even after the end of Infinity War, the little message comes up and says Thanos will return, and that was just a way to tell the fans, yeah, this was this movie. But I really like Infinity War. By the way, if you don't know, I really liked Infinity War. But
I just really liked how many people didn't see the ending coming, as in they thought that, like, they didn't realize it was going to sort of be like a to be continued type thing. It was just a, you know, it was going to be a movie like any of the other ones, and bam, bam. But no, it's a
wow.
yeah. And
Some people
I'm just like, that's what you get for not reading.
I find it really interesting that if you had gone with not killing the characters that they did and they killed the other ones, see what I mean? If they dusted the other Avengers instead of dusting the Avengers that we already know have sequels for next year, it would be this weird tension where people would be like, did they actually kill the Avengers off? Did they actually do it? Because now you have this weird situation where you're like, you know, Spider-Man has a movie coming, Black Panther.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's what I'm going to say, okay? So this isn't spoilers as in spoilers. This is in spoilers in the fact that they kind of spoiled it for everybody themselves, because next year, starting this year they've started doing 3 Marvel movies a year, right? And normally previously it was just 2 a year. And this year we have Captain Marvel, which came in from the end of Avengers, for anyone who's actually watched the movie and then watched after the credits and stuff. So Captain Marvel is coming. Now it's going to be more of an origin story as they do, like with the first Avenger, Captain America. But so we've got Captain Marvel, we've got, you know, Avengers, next Avengers, and then we've got the next Spider-Man. And so they've only just come out now with the name of the event, which is Endgame, but they came out with the name of Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie, much earlier, and the name of the next Spider-Man is Spider-Man Far From Home. And that kind of, you know, that really... you know, I mean, okay, so he's far from home. So he's not
London.
At home.
It's London. We already know.
Yeah.
Movies in London.
Yeah.
The thing is, the fact that I cried when they killed off Peter Parker because I was not counting on that. It was such
okay,
a.
So
Come on, that moment was really...
Infinity Wars for me. 2 weeks, I think it was about between 2 to 1 week before it came out on DVD and Blu-ray and everything, is when it sort of got ruined for me. And all it was that there was something and someone said something about, you know, I don't feel so well.
I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark. Yeah, something like that. And like, I'd seen a bunch of things of I don't feel so well, and all these things. And I know, okay, so I knew that had something to do with Infinity Wars and everything. But when I finally read that one, that where, you know, I wasn't deliberately going out and reading them, but people just posting them and stuff like that. And finally, there was one that came up and it was, you know, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. I went, there's only one person that calls Iron Man
Mr.
Stark. And I'm like, gosh darn it, they're going to ruin it for me. What the flip? And then I watch it and I'm like, I mean, I see this coming anyway. I saw this coming anyway. I mean, I was waiting and expecting for it to be like, oh, okay, it's all happened. And now all these people are the people that are left alive. And then all of a sudden, bang, that happens. And I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. But oh no, it's then the process of everybody else is going. And then why is it going so slow for him? Why does he get to be saying all this stuff and everything?
Because of the spider sense. He felt it coming before he actually hit him. While all the other ones just got dusted. The spider sense just made him know something was coming.
I don't know, because a lot of them, they're there and crumble and go away. He didn't crumble and go away. He's there. And he's slowly crumbling as he's talking and everything. Spider sense can't, slow down. And that's not how spider sense works. It's not how that works.
For me, it just bothers me because now we know that something happens in this movie to bring.
Well, yeah.
That's the only thing that I don't like. But they can still.
But the thing is that because Spider-Man: Far From Home. That comes out before Avengers.
No. Comes after.
Are you sure?
Absolutely sure. Absolutely sure. We get Captain Marvel in March or April. And we get...
March. Okay.
March. And we get Infinity War in the last week of April. And then we get Spider-Man in July, if I'm not mistaken. I know it comes after. Because it doesn't make any sense if it comes before. It could.
Because that's what I was gonna say.
It couldn't possibly come before Endgame. One thing, I don't like the title of the movie. I don't like that Endgame is the title of the movie. But
I'm fine with the name of it. It's nice.
As Doctor Strange would say, we are in the
Ender's Game.
Yeah.
But
we are on the Endgame now.
Yeah.
I am really going to like if they kill all the other Avengers to bring the new Avengers back. If that's how they have to do it.
Wow.
But if that's what they do, that's still it's gonna be really cool if they pull it off right. That of course I would much prefer that the last movie just ended with them actually with Thanos killing the old Avengers, and now with this movie would be just them trying and fail, the new Avengers trying and failing to get them back, and then set up a new Marvel Cinematic Universe, because this is gonna be the end of whatever this storyline is gonna end up doing, and after here they're gonna do something new and different, hopefully. They can't well forever. And
okay, so you are right. All right, so March is Marvel, Captain Marvel. April, Avengers Endgame. July, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Now it makes more sense, because I was like, that's why I was getting confused. And I was trying to work things out in my head. Okay, so Spider-Man's coming before Avengers.
Yeah.
So but no, there we go.
So let's see what happens, because I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. Like, I really want to see how they are gonna. How are they gonna bring them back? I think it's gonna be something to do with the Soul Stone, because that makes most sense. And then the Avengers sacrifice themselves to bring the other Avengers back, but half the population of the universe is still dusted. Do you get what I mean? So we get some kind of resolution without actually solving the problem, because I really want them to solve the problem 100%, because that just makes Infinity War completely pointless.
Well, it's what is it, Crisis on Another Earth and stuff like that. They just could do something like that. That's all. We'll just another Earth 2, whatever it is. Just do something like that, surely.
Crisis on Infinity Earth, on Infinite Earths or whatever. No, I think with Secret
Even
Wars.
Though that's DC. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go with Secret Wars after, because Captain Marvel looks very much based on Secret Wars, with the Skrull and the Kree and all that stuff. So I think they're gonna take that route after. And Captain Marvel is it was a character I knew nothing about, and it seems like a Dragon Ball movie. She is just Goku for me. It's like she's an alien. She uses energy that's kind of like Ki from Dragon Ball, but it just feels like a Dragon Ball movie to me, and I'm invested in the character. The trailer didn't seem very interesting at all, so I don't know, but
all right.
So,
Yeah.
is that it for trailer speculation and stuff?
I think for for the Marvels there, yeah.
Okay, then I don't think we have.
It'll be interesting though when they do bring out, the trailer for Spider-Man. Interesting for that.
I really hope that they don't bring the trailer before Endgame releases. I know they're not gonna do that. It's only 3 months after, 2 months after, so it would be like release a trailer and a month later or a month and a half later, like movie drops. They're not gonna do it, but they really should. They painted themselves into a corner with the 3 early releases.
Well, I like it, but you do have to remember that the whole 3 thing is only because of Spider-Man. If it wasn't for Spider-Man, it wouldn't be 3. And Spider-Man is actually a loan from Sony, so it's
True.
There's that sort of thing there. But at the same time, it's getting a bit confusing because they've also got Deadpool's, and there's throwing out a Deadpool for Christmas time as well. You've got Venom. I don't know where Venom was. Venom, I think that might just be a pure Sony one. I don't know if that's anything to do with Disney, with Marvel, or anything at all.
Sony.
Which I still haven't seen it. Full Sony? Oh, okay.
Full Sony. Venom.
Yeah, okay. But flipping on the flip side of that is the DC one. I recently just watched the trailer for Shazam, and I'm pretty keen for Shazam. I'm pretty keen for Shazam.
Shazam looks great. Looks like a pretty different movie from all the other.
And with what's his name? Something or other, Levi. I keep forgetting his name all the time. I just really like him as an actor. He's really good. He's really good, and he's really good at playing like an immature but still mature person, and so it fits so well in the fact that he's meant to be like this sort of young kid guy that's actually now bang pow boom superhero guy that's all big and buff and a tank basically. And I think it's really good.
I really like the vibe of that movie, and the Aquaman as well. The Aquaman looks actually pretty decent. Looks like a really
I haven't seen that because it's always very difficult to watch myself in movies.
You look just like Jason without like half the size.
Yeah, half the size. Oh, jeez, I'm getting there. Calm down.
You need to beef up.
Some more raw eggs each day.
Need to beef up more.
Yeah. But I still need to actually watch Wonder Woman and then Justice League.
You haven't watched Wonder Woman?
I own it. It's just sitting over there. It's still sealed. And I need to buy Justice League. But, I'm getting there. Calm down.
What?
Calm down.
But
I do know that Wonder Woman, like a lot of people like Wonder Woman.
I like Wonder Woman.
And it was sort of like the turning point finally for these recent DC movies where they finally brought out a good movie. And it's not just a movie where, we're fighting, why are we doing this? And then all of a sudden, Martha, hey, we don't need to beat each other up no more.
Justice League is trash. Justice League is really bad. I think Justice League is worse than Batman v Superman.
Well, Batman versus Superman, as long as you watch the Ultimate version, it's not a super terrible movie.
No.
It's not a great movie, but it's not super terrible.
Now, imagine a movie. Justice League is just pretty much like BVS, but you care about nothing, even less than you cared in BVS. In BVS,
there's no Martha?
in BVS there were like at least a little bit of philosophical stands, and there was a little battle of wits. There was something going on in that movie where it was just that made you think a little bit. With there's this godlike creature and this guy that doesn't take shit, but Justice League, you don't care about anything. You don't care about any character. The villain doesn't matter. Nothing in that movie matters. It's just Suicide Squad levels of trash. Like the same.
You hold tongue there. Suicide Squad. You know, Will Smith has had some tough times with movies he's done in the past several years. Will Smith was really good in Suicide Squad. I think
the same way that the same way that I'm missing the name of the actor that plays Batman. The actor that plays Batman in this new... the name's running away from me.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. There we go.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck is also a really good Batman. And
yeah. I think he's not like... Okay, he's no George Clooney.
George Clooney's awful. I really don't like George Clooney's Batman. Like, no. There are basically...
He's no Christian Bale. All the Batman are pretty good. You know, great.
The thing is, Christian Bale was a really good Batman, but a really bad Bruce Wayne. And I think Ben Affleck is good at both.
Well, it depends, because you know there's different Bruce Waynes. You know, there's the ones that do come off as really sort of, you know, more of a warm type one, and ones that come off as more of a cold type one. Like if you go to Batman the Animated Series, Bruce Wayne in that was a bit more of much more of a warm type Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, though, played by Christian Bale, no, he was much more of a sort of a colder type one. And actually, he reminds me more of Tony Stark. You know, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark in Iron Man, sort of much more of a playboy type thing, but just less of that comedic appeal type thing. And I think that's what sort of was missing a lot in the DC movie after, you know, the Christopher Nolan ones, because they were great Batman movies. They were. I mean, you know, casting, whatever your opinions are with that, but the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, they were brilliant.
They were really good.
You know, they were amazing. But yeah, no, I don't mind the Ben Affleck ones at all, actually. I was actually quite surprised by them, to be honest. But no, Suicide Squad, you know, the best characters in Suicide Squad were the characters that, you know, you just wouldn't have thought would have been the best character. You know, Deadshot, you know, Will Smith, you know, great. I honestly think that he was the best character and actor in that movie. Margot, what's her name? Margot
Robbie.
No. Yeah. She was pretty good too. I mean, she's Australian, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure I have to say that anyway. But she wasn't bad.
My problem, you always need to care about what's going on. And that movie,
well, and they
absolutely
make you do that with Deadeye. With everyone else, not really.
But the plot itself, all right, sure, I want to see how Deadshot redeems himself and all that stuff because the setup for his character. But the plot of the movie itself is like, I don't fucking care about this. We know that superhero movies, even when they have these great overarching plot lines with end of the world stuff, what you care about is the little details, the personal stories. That's what makes you invested in the movie. Like Civil War is not the best Marvel movie because it had the biggest threat. The threat was proven to even not exist at all at the end of the movie. That they were wrong the old movie and there was no actual threat even. The story there were two battling ideological points of view. And when the fucking point, the end game of the movie is a skybeam and your enemies are like fungi people, no! You don't even commit to have blood by making them fungi people, where their blood is just black, so you don't get that tagged on the movie. No, just fuck off. You're doing this on purpose. Your movie is bad on purpose. Your villain is stupid. The actress that you picked to play the villain is a bad actress. No one cares. No one cares about anything on there. Nothing.
Calm down, calm down.
And my favorite character in that movie is not even Deadshot, is Diablo, just because of the character. I just like the character, a character that is so strong that he's afraid of his own power and doesn't use it, and then uses it one last time and sacrifices himself. I really like that. But
yeah.
The threat meant nothing. Just made the movie boring. If we knew, they should have made Amanda Waller, because that actress is amazing, and the way that she portrayed Amanda Waller was so good. They should have given us a straighter line into knowing that she was behind, like, that the mission was a false flag. We should have hints of that before. They should have made it less of a reveal for us and more a reveal for the characters, where you're just like, he's controlling them, like, through all the movie, and then you have that release when they find out, because otherwise it just felt like a cop-out. Not to even talk about the goddamn abomination that it was Jared Leto's Joker in the movie. Because his portrayal of, we have had a lot of different portrayals of the Joker, and they all can work in different ways. Just the way that is used in the movie is so cringe-worthy and so...
And the fact that it was so little as well. So little used in it. You know, we didn't actually really fully get to see the potential of him actually being the Joker, really. He was just more like a cameo. It's a cameo with the Joker in it.
An overextended
I didn't like the Joker, like how they designed him and stuff like that. I wasn't a big fan of that at all. But again, like, it is really, really hard to walk to be in, you know, the shadow then of the previous Joker, which was Heath Ledger, which, you know, again, another Australian. Because that was an amazing Joker. Like, I like pretty much all the Jokers that they've been. You know, what was the previous one before that? What was his name?
What? Jack.
The really old one. Yeah, Jack Nicholson. He was a really good Joker as well.
In a completely different way, though. In a really character completely different. So Jared Leto,
like in
that
an
character,
actual, like, very sort of, you know, humorousy type. But then you've got the Heath Ledger one, and he was just very, you know, whoa, that was a whoa.
Yeah,
really.
And you have the animated series Joker, that's also incredible,
which is
different character. So
which is Mark Hamill, voice of
I was not like much of the internet when they released I didn't like the fact that the new Joker had a bunch of tattoos. That was the only thing that I didn't like.
I don't like forehead tattoos.
I just don't think that fits the character of the Joker, because I don't think the Joker would care enough to have that himself about his own branding on himself.
I mean, okay, so the grills with the teeth, I can, you know, I can understand that a bit, and then, like, the tattoos on the side of the face, all right, but on there,
just
it's hard because of personal taste. You know, that to me is just, but yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
But the character,
I mean,
having a really urban gangster Joker could have worked. But it completely didn't. The performance was really awful. There's a great scene with the Joker in that movie. That's the Harley Quinn transformation scene, when he throws her into the vat of chemicals and then doesn't let her die and jumps in after. I really like that scene, and that scene just proved that they could have made that Joker work, because they just needed more of that and less.
Interestingly, though, that thing there to me was like, that's out of place for the Joker. To me, that felt like that really did.
But now we're gonna have a new Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh,
Have you seen? Have you seen the side photos, the teaser, the design?
No, I'll have to have a look at that later on. Yeah,
it's going to be completely different than anything else we've seen about the Joker.
they have to keep doing things completely different because they keep making mistakes all the time. So like, let's do a rehash, a restart over, a reboot. Oh no, that failed. Let's do it again.
Yeah,
We'll get it right eventually.
Just take your characters and do whatever movies you want with them. We don't need interconnected universes all the time. We don't.
Well, I do. I like crossover things. I really do.
But we don't need them. Give me a good story about the Joker. Basically, this is going to be an origin story.
Well, like, do you want good stories of the Joker? You kind of got to go to the actual, like, animated ones. Like, what was it? The last joke? No, the Killing Joke. Like, that's meant to be. I still haven't seen that yet, but that is meant to be amazing. That is meant to be absolutely amazing.
But the fact that they are always painted into the corner of having interconnected universes, I think is not working well for DC. Because DC always this, all right, now let's have this completely offshoot comic where your characters have nothing to do with actually who you think you are, and Bruce Wayne was the one that died in the alley, and Thomas Wayne is the Batman and he kills people, and you give me Flashpoint, one of my favorite DC properties ever. Just give me Flashpoint in like live action, please, and I'll love you forever.
So that's the thing with what's it called, with Justice League, that I'm very hesitant on, because I really like the actor and the way they portrayed Barry Allen in the Flash, the TV show, and that is very much not Barry Allen as how he has always ever been in any form of Barry Allen and the Flash. And the way that they did that for the Flash TV show was from CW was worked so well. It's amazing. But that's not how he is going to be in Justice League. So that's what my big hesitation on Justice League is, and how they've done, Cyborg, because we haven't done the whole sort of Teen Titans or the Titans type thing. But I know there's the new series now, is it, of Titans or Teen Titans, whatever it happens to be. And I'm a bit hesitant on that because, I haven't seen it, but my favorite Titan is Raven, of course, obviously. And is she in it? I don't think she's actually in it, is she?
In what, Titans?
Yeah, in the new TV show.
Yeah, it is. She is. She is?
Oh, okay.
She's the main plot point.
Oh, okay.
And I only watched...
I'm not going to be upset by it, but I probably am.
I only watched 2 episodes so far. It's brutal. Like, it's actually brutal. Watching Robin literally killing people is fun, but I'm still not invested enough in it. But I'm not a fan of what they did with Starfire.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge fan of what they did with Robin. Robin was always one of my least favorite characters in the DC universe. But
it depends which Robin. I mean, when we're talking about Robins and all the Robins, some of the Robins weren't too bad. Some of the Robins were a bit.
What's the Robin that becomes the Red Hood? That's the Robin that I like.
That's the one I like. Okay, so there's Robin, which is Dick Grayson. Then there's Robin, which is... Who was after Dick Grayson? This is terrible. There's been at least 3 Robins, because there's also... I'm pretty sure wasn't Damian Wayne? He was Robin at one point, wasn't he? Before he became
I think so.
Batman? I think he became Batman eventually at one point. But then that's when things changed, because he actually killed someone, and he's all like, what have I done? Like, that was like my father's one thing, is that you don't kill.
Unless, they happen to be near exploding vehicles or falling buildings. In that case, whatever.
Yeah.
Directly. No direct killing. Just environmental killing doesn't count.
Indirectly killing.
Because Batman
But, like,
kills
that's
a
what
lot
I
of
really
people
liked about,
indirect.
Injustice and the whole Injustice storyline and everything about how, you know, because he refused to kill the Joker and everything like that,
He can
stuff happens, and yeah, Superman goes crazy because and then Superman ends up, you know, killing the Joker and stuff, and crazy stuff. But yeah,
I want to see what they do with the new Joker movie.
yeah,
He's a really
Interesting.
good actor, and they are going to take the premise of the Killing Joke, I think, for the Joker
which will be
origin
good then.
story.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm pretty sure the Killing Joke is meant to be one of the best actual like Joker stories.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna use the origin story that he has in the Killing.
Okay.
So the Joker, another name that's not Jack or whatever. Not that because we don't need to know the name of the Joker. It's the Joker. We just need to know how a normal human being or semi-normal human being became the. I think that's fun. Seeing how someone can become that is gonna be interesting if they do it in a.
Well, just the tiny bits that we had from, you know, the Christopher Nolan ones about, you know, the why so serious, like that's how he got the scars. You know,
But then he
just
gives
little
you,
tiny
but then he
tidbits of
gives
backstory
you
like that was
three
enough.
different stories. But then he gives you three different stories for how he got the scar.
Well, that's why it's so good.
Yeah, I like it.
Keeps you guessing. That's what I really like about it, is because, you know, it could be this, it could be that, it could be neither of them. It's just complete bollocks. You know?
I really like the combined idea that the Joker is PTS veteran. That's what happened to him and just broke him. And there are a lot of fan theories and YouTube videos that you can look at where they break down stuff that he says that makes sense if you take that assumption. And they're like, that's interesting. And I like that Christopher Nolan is one of those guys that never said anything about it, even though he clearly designed the characters somehow and with some intention. So we could have said, well, this is because of this. Just ends. And I like that he's not that kind of director. Like when J.K. Rowling retrospectively makes Dumbledore gay. Just because. All right. Makes sense, but don't give me shit that when you designed the character and wrote the story the first time, that you took that into account. You didn't. It just actually fits the story, and now since you want to do it, you do it because it fits the story. You're lucky enough it actually fits the story.
Well, I mean, you know, it's you know, there's nothing to say that wasn't how beginning, or maybe not in the very, but then soon thereafter. I mean, it is very possible that came into it much more sooner than the very end, but, you know, calm down. There's nothing ever to say otherwise. So
but that's my point. There's nothing to say otherwise, but she literally came up and said it instead of she set it up in a different way. Like we have the Harry Potter movies, whatever. Now you come up on this one, Fantastic Beasts 2, and you actually think that shows that. Don't fucking tweet that. You see what I mean? Don't add stuff without reason.
Well, you know, she is the creator. She can add whatever she wants, really. I mean, all of it is just her, you know, her creation.
Right, sure,
anyway.
but
She's
it bothers
just
me.
added it anyway.
It bothers me. It bothers me so much. It's like, imagine Ryan Johnson tweeted saying, "Oh, Kylo lied to Rey when he said that she was nobody," and didn't say anything else. Just that. He was lying. And now do with that whatever the fuck you want. Fits the story. Does he have any need to tweet that? Fuck no. Just do something with the story that either reveals it was a lie or truth. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I'd actually really like it if they did do that, just because you'd explode.
I don't think Twitter is a source of like pop culture, or it should do something Your story. Don't fucking tweet plot points.
But it's their story, though. It is their story, so they can.
No, they can't.
They can. They did. They created it. They can do whatever they want, really.
Yeah, and then, but the fans gonna be pissed.
It's not so much that they're doing it, though, to actually be adding or anything to the story. It was more just for a sort of, fans thinking and wondering and so on. They're like, well, yeah, whatever, happens to do. There you go. It's not like, here's the story and you've all known this. Now I'm just going to say this out of the blue, out of nowhere, and just going to throw this, spanner in the works to, clog up the gears of people's thinking of things and whatnot to make you stop and take a double take or something. It was, there was a lot of actual questions about it, like for a very long time. And she just came out and, gave out that extra bit of information. And it actually happens a lot of time with books and in movies and stuff, in interviews where people are talking about characters and then the actual author or, creator or whatever, or designer, developer happens to be like, well, actually, this is some of the background type behind the work stuff that we went through. And that's how things in like perhaps in art books, in giant compendium, encyclopedia type things that have to do with, just all this background extra information. And when things were in development and in pre-production and everything like that, about all this extra stuff, because not everything ends up in the final product that we see for movies and in games and in TV shows and even in books. And there's all this extra stuff. How else are we meant to know these things? Then just because it's not in the final product doesn't mean that it's not actually legitimate and a part of it. It's just, it's not in that, small, sealed, tied in a bow product that we're given, because, they can't have everything in it, unfortunately. So I think it's fine.
Not tweeting. I'm against tweeting plot points. Come on.
Well, how else are they meant to do it? They're going to just have to wait and write a whole book about it?
Yes!
To be like,
Release a book. Release an encyclopedia, whatever the hell you want. Release some...
Well, maybe eventually they will. Eventually.
Yeah, like this movie was a perfect... But then they didn't commit in this movie. You get what I mean? We know that, but then the movie itself doesn't commit to that plot point.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
That I'm being vague on purpose, not to spoil anything. doesn't commit to the plot point, and it bothers me. It's like it's one of those things that bother me. It's like if now in episode 9, Star Wars episode 9 is either gonna be one of my favorite Star Wars movies ever or one of my most hated Star Wars movies ever, just because I think the Last Jedi was so divisive, and basically the community is haters and lovers of that movie. That episode 9 is gonna suffer the same problem, because you can't appeal to both of those people without literally pissing off the other half. Because the lovers of the movie just want you to continue doing what you're doing and finishing the story. The others want you to backtrack everything that happened in the last movie. And one of those two things not going to go right.
Yeah.
If they change the origin story of Rey, I'm going to be really, really mad. Be really, really pissed. Because the whole point at the beginning, the Force is supposed to be access to everyone. Doesn't need to be a Skywalker or a Kenobi or whatever. Just,
Yeah, well, But, normal, average people don't make exciting, people. They've got to be special somehow. And she's special because she can use the Force, see? So, she's not just an ordinary nobody.
She's special because she can use the Force. She doesn't have to be a Skywalker to be able to use the Force.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
What pisses me?
We spoke
I
about
have 1 year.
We spoke about it last time, yeah.
I have 1 year to wait for that movie. That movie. 1 year. They made such a mistake releasing Solo in May, I think.
Yeah.
May was an absolute mistake. I don't know why they did it, because Disney's not that crowded in December this year anyway. So I don't know why they chose to release it in May. they might have thought, since that movie was literally shot twice, they might have thought that they didn't have a good enough product, which I personally don't believe. I think that if you want to watch a standalone Star Wars movie, Solo is good for that. It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, no, I really did like Solo. It was good.
So they should have just released it in December, because now I have to wait a year with no Star Wars and I'm crying because I really want to see what happens next. Anyway, do we have more topics to cover? I have to go grab a glass of water, so you have 5 minutes of the podcast just for yourself, and I'll
Oh, jeez.
because it's getting
on,
dark in
again.
here. So 5 minutes, I'll be right back. You carry on this for a couple of minutes.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, phew. Well, you know, improv time. Not great. Not great at it. We've been talking about movies. You know, I don't get to go and see very many movies at the cinema. This year I did get to see about 2 movies at the cinemas. Normally I just get them on home media, you know, on Blu-ray or a 4K UHD. And well, that's the thing there, is that, you know, I've had a conversation many times with many people about people like, oh, why don't you just, you know, just stream things? You know, there's Netflix, there's Stan, or in Australia, Netflix, Stan. What else is there? There's a third one. I can't remember it, whatever it's called. But see, I'm a physical person. I like physical things, holding the physical actual product. But not only because of the fact that I like physical things, but there's also actually a quality type of thing. Is with streaming. Now, this isn't speaking direct. It's not going directly against the whole digital and physical, in the sense, because you can get actual digital products, the full thing. We're not talking streaming here, but and that can be, you know, a much more higher product and better quality than a stream product. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about streaming against not streaming. And streaming, the bitrate generally of when you're streaming from Netflix 4K is something around, like 8 megabits or something like that. Whereas the bitrate from a UHD 4K Blu-ray disc is, you know, 24 plus. So that's a massive difference. That's more than double the amount of actual data going through. So, you know, yeah, that's just my little talk on physical versus digital there.
And you have another thing on top of that you can't put stuff on shelves, and stuff on shelves is pretty.
Well, yeah, I know.
Collecting physical stuff.
You can't see my shelves, but they look real good. You can see tiny. I mean, that's Lego, but, you know, just imagine that, but not Lego, filled with movies, and that's everywhere around there, and it just looks nice.
For instance, I don't buy digital versions of games. Because I like boxes, but now I have where my laptop doesn't have a CD drive, so I have to buy a digital or I have to buy a physical copy that comes with a digital code. So I have CDs that don't mean anything to me, but I still own them.
Yeah.
I don't buy only online stuff. That's the reason that I'm not gonna buy Overwatch ever. Is if it a single player campaign that even if they decide to shut down the servers, I can still play. I'm not gonna pay money for it.
That was my biggest problem with the newest Call of Duty, is that there is a campaign in it. And I'm like, see, I'm not a massive Call of Duty fan. I'm much more of a Battlefield player. But the fact that they got rid of the campaign, the single player campaign in Call of Duty, I think that was a terrible idea. I mean, they brought in a whole battle royale type thing, because that's the massive craze these days with people.
The Call of Duty battle royale is great. I played it's amazing. The problem is I'm not playing that game for that alone. That mode needs to be free to play, because there's no reason to pay money for that mode, because they have microtransactions to make it financially viable. So make the goddamn game free to play.
Well, yeah. So I think if a game has microtransactions, the game should then be free. If the game doesn't have microtransactions, then by all means have a price to pay for it. But having microtransaction in a paid game,
it's shit. It's
yeah,
just
I
it's.
don't like that. Don't like that.
I really hate that, and I really believe that Call of Duty as a product in their hands on the battle royale literally put Fortnite out of business if they released it free to play.
Yeah.
Because
which like they might just release just that module type mod free to play.
Yeah, that's the only thing I need. Make Blackout free to play with the microtransactions, and you will put Fortnite out of business because it's PUBG but good, because PUBG was bad. Even PUBG fans know that PUBG is bad. PUBG
they've
that
just,
ignited
releasing their what is it, their winter thing or something from the games, the Game Awards that was just shown yesterday or the day before. They had the trailer and it's all in snow and everything like that. And it's like winter is here or something. And the guy starts talking about it. And like one of the interesting things that's added into it is that because of the snow, you can actually see people's footprints and stuff. So you can like use that as like a tracking thing. And the idea of that's actually pretty interesting, because like normally in Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, whatever it's called, where you walk and like if it's when you see doors open, like, all right, someone's been here, doors are open. But now it's not just that, you can actually see footprints and you can like follow the footprints. And then
how long did the servers take to crash?
Circles.
How long did the servers take to crash with all the footprints?
I don't know. I don't know
at all.
I mean, that's not going to take up that. I mean, they've got footprints and lots of things and stuff like that. And, you know, they don't have massive, okay, they've got like 100 people, but, you know, and it's also now on PlayStation 4 as well, I think. I'm not a massive fan of those types of games. Not a massive fan of Battle Royales.
I am a huge fan of Battle Royales, just on the fact that they are really casual. They have a low entry floor, but a high ceiling, and I like that. So you can play a lot of it, you get really better over time, and there's a lot of room to improve, but you don't like a second job. If you a game a day and have fun with it, you can be absolute tier in your and have fun with it. Just psychologically knowing that there are 100 people in this game and just one wins. If you lost, you're in the 99% of people. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because 100 people, 99 other people, like 40 of them die in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're never really actually versing 99 people, really.
But I think that's why that type of games become so popular, because you have people that grew up with video games, that their spare time is spent with video games, but that now have jobs because they are out of university and they have jobs that they have to go to and can't play games 8 hours a day and be really good at multiplayer Call of Duty. But if you're decent at Call of Duty, jump into a battle royale and have fun, because that game takes 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever. And then if you die, you start another one. There's no reason not to. Your skill is the only thing that determines if you win or not, because the equipment comes from the environment. So yeah, it's just a fun type of game that it's popular because it fits the modern society lifestyle, I think.
Yeah, like I've been recently playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, and the thing I really like about that is that the game's been out for quite a while, but the progression in that is reputation, and all that does is just gets you to things so you get more gold faster. And what can you buy with gold? Only cosmetic stuff. There's nothing like... So me, I've only been playing it for 2 weeks. If I go against someone who's been playing it for like, you know, however long the game's been out, let's say like 8 months, you know, the only difference between them and me is that their experience with actually playing the game. They're just better at the game because they've played it longer, that's it. They don't have any weapons that are stronger. They don't have any armor that is more armor or more health or anything like that. It's just them playing the game, getting more practice. That's it. And that's actually what I do like about it. And it's a similar thing with, you know, Player Battlegrounds, Unknowns, whatever thing, is that the only progression type thing that there really is is cosmetic things. That's it. There's, you know, you don't get to, it's like, okay, well, it's a bit different because in the thing you've got, you know, different weapons and stuff like that, but you pick them up in the game. It's not like you get to start with this super strong weapon, which other people don't get to start with, as far as I know. And that's what I actually do like, because it changes it. And I can understand games where, you know, they do have that level of progression type stuff and you do get better armor you can start with and so on. But, you know, as the new player coming into a game like that, if it's been out for a year, you know, you're at a massive disadvantage there, and it actually can be a deterrent for new people to come into the game. But with Sea of Thieves, with, you know, Royal Rumble, Battle Royale type games, where it's always a flat, even playing field, no matter what, every single time you come for a game, you know, there's never a deterrent for new people to come in. You can be 2 years late, you can be 2 weeks late, it doesn't matter. You're all coming in at the exact same level each time you come and play. And I think that's actually really good and really, really, you know, very clever. Obviously, you can't apply it to all types of games, but if you're able to do a game like that, you know, you have a much larger crowd, I think, because you're not going to be pushing people away if they don't get in on release, which is really handy.
Yeah, I think that concludes it for today. What do you think?
Yeah, no.
Solid
I think,
2 hours.
I'm like almost falling asleep here.
It's like 3 a.m. for you.
Yeah.
So
oh, boy.
I hope people enjoy this episode. And we're trying to do it like once a month-ish, if time is right.
I think, bi-monthly, sort of, at the moment, nearly.
Yeah, we are doing it about once every 2 months. We won't do it about once every month. But, yeah, and this is the kind of show that we are going to keep running, talking about Lego, pop culture, movies. We have not talked about music, but we will at some point, because I bet Sai has a very reputable music career that we have to...
Oh, calm down.
But...
maybe once upon a time, yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully see you guys very soon. Sai, wanna pick stuff off? When are you gonna stream next? Tell all the lovely people. I'll again on the chat.
You know, I don't know. Do you have a schedule? I don't have a schedule.
I don't have a schedule.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stream this week at some point in the
there you go.
UK afternoon.
Well, yeah, there you go. I'll probably do the same type of thing.
All right, guys. Then see you next week, or this week, or whenever we decide we're gonna stream week.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us all, and it has been a pleasure once again, DaV1rus.
And see you soon.
Yes. Bye for now.